Hey everyone, off the Mike Sports Network here. First massive upset in the NFL postseason. The Washington Commanders walk into Detroit facing the 15-win Detroit Lions, and they win 45-31. Jayden Daniels outstanding in this game. Nearly 300 yards passing, countless fourth down conversions, countless amazing throws um, against blitzes. It was an unbelievable performance, and the Commanders are back in the NFC Championship game for the first time since 1992. My sister was just born in January of 1992. That's how long it's been since the Washington Commanders, or the then Redskins franchise, have even been to the NFC Championship game. So this is an unbelievable story, a lot to unpack. So we're going to have a bunch of content coming out about this because there's a lot of ways we can take it. But let's start with this. Jayden Daniels has already had the best rookie season in the history of the NFL. And I know you're going to look at me and say, Mike, weeks ago, you said you would still take Caleb Williams over Jayden Daniels. Guys, that's a different conversation. Let me be clear. Jayden Daniels is an outstanding quarterback, but don't kid yourselves. If the Washington Commanders were the number one pick in the NFL draft last year, they would have taken Caleb Williams 100 times out of 100 because local guy, like everybody, every analyst, they're kidding themselves. You would have taken Caleb Williams over Jayden Daniels 100 times out of 100. Okay, let's just knock that out of the way. That being said, this is the perfect example of why organization, head coach, GM, ownership, whatever, marrying with the quarterback and putting a system around them to fit their abilities and match that with an insane talent like a Jayden Daniels. He was worthy of the number 2 pick. And this is what you get. Dan Quinn had the perfect mindset. Second time around as a head coach after being to a Super Bowl with the Falcons, and he had a great run as defensive coordinator with the Cowboys. Cliff Kingsbury is a great offensive mind. You put him there. There's a bunch of talented guys. Terry McLaurin, I've been saying this for years. Terry McLaurin's one of the better and more underrated wide receivers in the league. They have guys like Zach Ertz. They bring in Bobby Wagner on the defense. Like, there is talent in Washington. They just had bad ownership. Dan Snyder was a terrible owner. Josh Harris buys this team. Magic Johnson's in the ownership group. And look at them now. They're in the NFC Championship game because they got the right quarterback and the marriage worked. But don't kid yourselves. If Jayden Daniels was in Chicago, this would not have happened to the Bears. He was not fixing this. This is all about marrying the right quarterback with the right system. And again, like I said, Jayden Daniels is a great quarterback. He is already probably one of the 5 to 7 or 8 top guys in the league already. And I will say this again. He has already had no matter what happens the rest of the way. And if he goes on to win a Super Bowl, don't even get me started. Like, nobody is touching this rookie season. Like, this is unheard of to have 2 road playoff games. You go to the number 1 seed that won 15 games this year, only lost twice. You go into their house where they don't lose to begin with, and you put up 45 on them. You don't turn over the ball. You take care of it. You throw for nearly 300 yards. Like, this is not some gimmick anymore. And people thought I was being disrespectful. All I'm saying is that if given the choice between both guys, don't kid yourselves, Commanders fans. You would absolutely take Caleb Williams over Jayden Daniels in any given situation. That being said, you were blessed in a right situation and you got the right guy. But I don't blame the Bears for taking Caleb Williams in the slightest. We'll see if that works out. Bears are just a poverty franchise. They're terrible. Like, they don't know what they're doing. They can't figure out the head coaching situation. Like, the Commanders got it right. They got the head coach right. They got the offensive coordinator right. They got every single bit of this thing right. And of course, the quarterback fits perfectly with their mindset. This kid's unflappable. Like, they were like, Detroit was just blitzing like crazy at the end, being aggressive. And Jayden Daniels, no matter what, he would run. Like, he even did this against Tampa last week. He'd run away from pressure and get a first down. He would face a free runner in his face and hit an insane throw. Like, he was doing unheard of things for a rookie quarterback. And a lot of that is just, okay, you're blessed in being in a great system and you have good protection and stuff. Um, but also like the talent of this guy, like it was really close between Caleb Williams and Jayden Daniels in a lot of people's eyes. I still think Caleb Williams is the better option, and I would still side with him. But you're starting to see what happens when you marry certain situations, like, and you have a good ownership, good structure, and good head coaching, and all this other stuff, and a good core of players, which is not what was going on in Chicago. So just want to clear that up, but I will maintain this again that, like I said, this is the best rookie season I've ever seen in the NFL. No matter what happens, he gets to a Super Bowl. I don't know if that's ever going to get touched, and that's always going to stick with him. And I have a hard time with this legacy discussion already 1 year in, because like we're talking about, like, situations. It's there's context that goes to these situations, but given what we have seen, it's hard to ignore how great this kid has been. And I'm happy for all my friends who are Commanders fans, long suffering Commanders fans. Like I said, 1991 season. 90 January 92 was the last time they were even in a championship game, and they went to the Super Bowl that year. So we'll see what they're made of, man. They're going to face either the Eagles or the Rams. That's going to be a fascinating setup. It's either going to be a divisional matchup, or the Rams are going to get to host a game in SoFi Stadium that got taken away from them due to the fires. So it's a crazy story shaping up in the NFC with the Lions out. I mean, hell, like I said, the two teams with the most wins in the the two teams with the most wins already, and then you've got the Eagles right there as well. But two teams with the most wins in the NFC all season. You had the Vikings with 14 and the Lions with 15. They're both gone. That's crazy. So anyway, we'll have more on this game and more throughout the rest of the weekend on the NFL. Like, it's just already been a nuts weekend. I already went crazy on the Chiefs. You can go watch that video and like that bogus refs thing, which, whatever. Go watch it. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.